Hello, this week I started working on a project for a fitness tracker using Google Firebase and Python and VS Code. Um, so select onto the database. I just kind of want to go over some of the configurations real quick. So I had to do some things. This project was actually pretty tough. I'm pretty new to Google Firebase, but it actually taught me a lot. So I learned about private keys. I learned about rules. I learned about Firestore. And so this is where the database is kind of being held, and we'll go over the code and how this database is used later. But this is really where I'm able to store. So for now, we're just going to say, so I have activities, and this is the private, or this is the ID for the activity. I have running, calories burned, the date, the duration, additional notes, and the user ID. I also have users that includes age, date, height in centimeters, full name, username, and height or weight in kilogram. And so in the code, a user will input different fields. So like they'll be asked, they'll be prompted to enter in an activity. So they'll say running, swimming, biking, and then immediately after will be prompted to include calories burned and how long. And the user is also able to adjust any of this. So the user is able to say, you don't know, I actually only burned 180. Let me change that. This is actually useful for real world application, especially for me because I'm someone who enjoys working out and enjoys fitness. So calories and duration is important to me. Um, but yeah, so just got the different indexes and the different collections here. And then we're just going to go into the code. All right, so I'm in my terminal right now. This is the code. We've got so we've had to import the Firebase admin and the date time to retrieve the accurate date. I also included a ignore warnings just for like it to be easier to use on the terminal and not have lengthy warnings in between user interactions. So first we're going to include the private key that we're given from Google Firebase. So we have our service account key. So we have it in the same file, so it knows where to use the database, where to put our login and our user activity onto that database. So we have a few options here. We have register user. So if you're brand new, you're able to make a new account and it's going to ask you for your username. And if you already are using the username, it'll say username is taken. This is per the pretty much future, just for if there's more usernames, then user would be prompted to pick a different one. This is also where we're going to get full name and age and weight, just for the data, just to see kind of where you start and how your activities are kind of lining up for you over time. So once the user is registered, they're able to log in. They're able to log an activity like running, swimming, biking. You're able to view activity, so you're able to view, I biked yesterday for 30 minutes and I burned 200 calories. And then you're able to say update activity. You're able to be like, you don't know, actually I only burned 180, so let me update that. You're also able to say, for delete activity, you can say, you know what, actually I lied, I didn't even go biking, let me delete that activity. And then for number 7, that's actually log out, but since the user's not logged in yet, they're not able to log out, so I just put NA. And then we have the exit for 0, so I'm going to go ahead and run through this. I can just briefly go through the code. So this is create user account, create activity log, user login, view user activities, update activity, delete activity, log out. Or this is the main screen, so this is where the user is actually seeing all of this. And then I think by default the user's told to log out. Okay, so let's just go right into it. Hopefully it will work for the sake of the video. Okay. All right, so before we can do anything, we need to log in. So if I were to say log activity, it would say login required. So we're gonna go ahead and log in. My username was Eric, I already registered earlier. Okay, so let's log a new activity. Today I walked on campus a lot, so I'm just gonna say walking, and probably 45 minutes. Calories burned, I don't even know, but let's just say 200. Okay, so let's remember this. It's logged walking 45 200. We can view the activity. So we had running from earlier, and now we have walking. And then we can also update the activity. So, so we're like, hey, actually, I didn't walk for 45 minutes. I only walked for 10 minutes. So we put that in here. We want to update the duration to 10 minutes. Duration's updated. Let's go ahead and view it to make sure it's right. 10 minutes. I don't want to delete it because I want to be able to see it in the database, and I don't want this video to be 10 minutes long. But if I were to delete activity, it asks for the ID, and if I don't want to put an ID, I just press enter and we're good. And then I can also just exit and log out, pretty much the same. So I'm just going to exit, says goodbye, and then the code is reset. So let's take a look into Google Firebase real quick. So yeah, so then we have our running and then we have our walking. So that's pretty much a walkthrough of my health fitness tracker real world application, Python, Google Firebase project. Thank you.